Meet Best in Slot Chunkman. Starting in Lumbridge, he must obtain all the Best in Slot items before moving on to the next chunk. Unlike other Chunkmen, he doesn't have time for
little baby stealing.
He only cares about
killing shit and taking loot.
This is his story. Unlocking RuneScape's Best in Slot items, one chunk at a time. Welcome to episode 2 of the Best in Slot Chunkman. Here we can pick up where we left off and just cross off those Best in Slot tasks that we completed in the last one, and let's roll another chunk. Here we go, the West Lumbridge Swamp. So this chunk provides access to the cave underneath. I don't think there's any upgrades in there for me. I'm pretty sure everything's locked behind Slayer, like the cave bugs, cave slimes, and everything. And I don't currently have a Slayer Master. Oh, never mind. Mithril Spear, what's this guy come from? Huh. Giant Frogs, level 99. I'll be putting that Mithril Battle Axe to use. Let's go see how we can get down there. So to get down in the caves, I actually need a light source, and I'm pretty sure the only way I can get a light source is by buying a candle from the candle seller. So I'm going to be selling some more longbows and short bows so I can get 1,000 coins to buy that. Got a little carried away with the fletching, and ended up getting almost 3,000 coins. But we also need a rope, so I just killed this mugger, and of course, my luck, first kill. We got this guy, so now we can go explore these caves and see if we can kill some of these giant frogs. Okay, Mr. Candle Seller, let's see what you got. Give me that candle. What a fucking scam price. It'd be really funny if you sold it to you and it wasn't lit. But here we go. So, I actually don't know where the level 99 frogs are, so let's go to the wiki and look them up. I just hope they're not in the area where my candle can explode. Okay, so it turns out they're actually in the area where my candle can explode. I should be fine. Let's just skip over this wall beast. I'm just gonna save my run energy in case the frogs are aggressive. But I should be fine with this meat. Run past the cave slimes. I don't know if they trigger it or if it's just random when it explodes. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, 12 damage is not too much. I cannot eat that.
Hello there.
This is where I made a grave mistake. I did not realize that these were aggressive. So even after getting poisoned, I figured I might as well still go to the giant frogs because I can flinch them, so I shouldn't be taking any damage from them. I'll just be taking the poison damage. Here, I took 8 poison damage, which is a lot more than I thought. So, I mean, I guess I could have been saved by a random event if I got a strange fruit randomly. And I started panicking here when my candle exploded, and then it goes out again as I cross the water. So, running around, made it to the giant frogs, almost completely out of food, getting hit for 7s on poison. So I go to home teleport, and I'm on a 22-minute cooldown. So I figured I might as well just panic log. So after 23 minutes, I had a grand plan that, looking back, is pretty fucking stupid. But I mean, I thought it would work. I was just gonna home teleport, log out before the poison plat hits me, and then I was gonna run to the Lumbridge basement and pick up the cabbage spawn, and then just keep hopping worlds, eating the cabbage, logging out, eating the cabbage, logging out. Sparing you guys having to actually watch through this. You can see in the background, this is on 50 times by the way, so this was like a 30-minute debacle, just about. And eventually I was like, oh, it's not hitting me as much. I can go kill some cows and get the cowhide and then do that to heal off the poison and everything. But this took quite some time, so we are not going to go back to the giant frogs until I have an anti-poison. So because of that whole debacle, I decided to just backlog this task until I got an anti-poison, or a means of dealing with that anti-poison, otherwise I just die. In the background here, I'm just rolling a couple chunks. A lot of these were just mistakes, and I must have clicked on this one when I was fucking around with the chunk map before. So I went through and fixed all of these. And then down in the desert as well, I don't have access to some of these chunks, so I went through and just canceled them and made it so I couldn't roll them. Because, I don't know, I thought that's how it works. I'll figure out the rules as I go, I guess. But, yeah, to the next actual chunk that I can lock. Here it is. So I ended up getting the champion skill chunk. There's nothing in this chunk for me currently. I don't have access to the champion skill, so I can't go buy the rune sword or any of the armor upstairs. But once I have enough quest points, I can go and get a rune sword if I don't have a better item by then. So let's roll the next chunk. We ended up rolling West Varrock. Again, this chunk doesn't have anything for me, but it does have the Cooking Guild. So with the Chef's Hat and 32 cooking, I can get into there. I don't think there's anything in there for me yet, but yeah, have that unlocked. Let's go to the next one. I ended up rolling the South Draenor chunk, and this chunk has a couple main upgrades for me. The first one being a steel mace, which would be my best in slot crush weapon, and then the next one being the bronze kite shield. I also have an easy one that's just getting the boxing gloves, which doesn't really do anything. I don't think I'm ever going to use those. I ended up just ignoring the Iron Man helm and the Iron Full helm drops, as I already have the Hardcore Iron Man helmet, which functions as an Iron Full helmet, so I just crossed these ones off. Here's the first Black Knight kill for BIS Chunkman, and from him I need the Steel Mace, which is rare drop, coming in with a drop rate of 1 in 128. Even though my account is melee focused currently, melee does not work very well for killing these guys. So Black Knights actually have a melee and range defense of plus 70 for every single style. So unfortunately, I'm either going to need to level up my melees quite a bit, or I'm going to need to use magic to kill these efficiently. I ended up leaving and coming back with my best in slot mage gear, and any of these stumps, trees, or rocks, you can just safe spot this guy around. So, since they path east to west before north and south, you can just use one of these safe spots here. This might be one of the times that I felt the dumbest throughout this series so far. So I completed a random event, got a kebab as the reward, and I've been eating meat this entire time, killing the cows, cooking the meat, killing the cows, cooking the meat. Kebabs provide a much better source of food for me, especially since they only cost 1 coin each from this kebab shop. Unlike most food in RuneScape, kebabs don't heal the same every time. The majority of the time, they heal a player for 3 plus 7% of the player's hit points level, but there's a chance for it to heal more, as well as potentially provide a small stat boost, and there's also a chance for it to heal nothing, and potentially lower a player's stats. Time to grab out all my coins and build a stockpile of kebabs. I ended up buying about 100 kebabs to start, and then came back to the Black Knights to try bopping them with melee. And since the kills were insanely slow still, decided to end up going back to cows. Got myself 30 attacks so I can use Addy weaponry. Unfortunately, don't have any of those yet, don't have access to it. So we're going to go back on to strength for now. I actually went for a small AFK break here, ended up getting 35 fletching so I can make a willow shortbow at some point if I could ever get flex. And I got 41 woodcutting, built up the cash pile a little bit, so let's go buy some more kebabs. And that should be enough kebabs purchased. There we have over 250, so I'm going to go back to the Black Knight and see how long these last me. 20 prayer coming in, as well as 40 combat. There's the steel mace coming in. Of course, we got lucky, as we always do. That one only took us 70 kills to get, so just about half the drop rate. With the cash tag I got from fletching, I can buy this best in slot, the boxing gloves, as well as the chronicle, and some of these teleport pages. Moving on to obtain my next best in slot item. I'm just going to come west of the jail a little bit, and go into the trapdoor, and I need to kill the level 24 zombies. There's the first inventory. So as you can see, these guys drop a bunch of herbs. I can't use them, and I won't be able to for quite some time. But they also drop a little bit of cash and some runes. Level 40 strength. And there's 35 defense. Got a couple more defense and strength levels on the way here, but there's the bronze kite shield. My new best in slot. When I went back to the chunk picker, I realized that there was something off. With the main goal of this account, to obtain the barrels gloves, I realized that I had forgot to select in the chunk rules that showed quest tasks. There are 2 main ways that I could do this for the barrels gloves. Since they require so many different chunks already, and 175 total quest points, I figured it would be more in the spirit of the game if I just do all the quests that I have access to along the way, rather than waiting until the end, where I have all the chunks for the barrels gloves specific quests, and then I would just have to do 175 quest points. So with that addressed, we completed the 2 quests that we had backlogged, and let's pick our next chunk. Ended up rolling the Alkir Mine chunk. Not a bunch in this chunk. There are a couple clue steps, a couple scorpions, and then mining, which I don't do. So yeah, let's roll the next one. Here we got the Barb Village chunk. This chunk provides a few best in slot upgrades for me. The first couple are in the helmet slot. I can obtain the Adamant Full Helm and the Mithril Medium Helmet from the helmet shop in the Barbarian Village. The next upgrades are located inside the Stronghold Security. The Stronghold Security has 4 floors. As you progress downwards, each floor contains NPCs that are a higher combat level. For my best in slot magic weapon, I can get the Skull Scepter. To craft this, I must combine 4 different monster drops from within the stronghold, each piece with a drop rate of about 1 in 33. The first and last floors drop the 2 pieces needed to make the strange skull. Minotaurs drop the right skull half, and then Anaku drop the left skull half. The second and third floors have the components to make the rune scepter. The bottom of the scepter is on the second floor, dropped by flesh crawlers, and the top of the scepter is dropped by, I'm not fucking pronouncing that, on the third floor. Also obtainable on the fourth floor are my other best in slot items, being the fancy boots as well as the shade robes. The shade robes have a top and bottom, and they're my best in slot prayer items. These are dropped at a rate of 1 in 4 from shades, and the fancy boots are just obtained by searching the chest at the bottom of them. I went down and started killing the minotaurs for the right skull half. These can also drop easy and beginner clue scrolls. Although there's a very low chance of me completing them, I might as well pick them up and juggle all the steps that I can complete. Still no skull half, but there's 40 defense coming in. I ended up getting a nature talisman, which is a pretty rare drop, so we're just going to throw that guy in the bank and save on to him for later. First, completable beginner clue step, so this is going to be the juggling tile that I have marked in green over here. Just got another nature talisman. These guys are pretty rare. Still no skull half, we're at 223 kills, so just chugging along. After killing this one here, this will be kill 334, putting me at more than 10 times the drop rate. So I guess I am not always lucky. After going 10 times the drop rate, obviously you gotta go back to the wiki just to make sure that you're killing the right ones. So yeah, one here, all the minotaurs drop it over to 133. Doesn't matter the combat level or the location as long as you're in the stronghold. And then on the wiki, if you didn't know, there's also a dry calculator where you can input the chance of the drop, the number of kills that you've done, as well as the number of items obtained. And for this guy, there was a 99.99% chance that I would have obtained this item. And of course, I can't go talk to Oziach because he's not in my chunks. Just a little while later, we finally ended up getting the drop. So it took me about 11 times the drop rate. Very thankful that it was just a simple level 12 with a 1 in 33 drop, as opposed to something like a tackle box from Temporos. The next piece is coming from the flesh crawlers. So these guys aren't too difficult to kill. They are aggressive always for all combat levels, which is really nice because it means you can AFK them. And again, just a 1 in 33 chance. They also have access to the rare drop table, but I'm not going to be killing enough of these to get a dragon spear or a rune spear or any of that. There's the bottom of the scepter coming in. This one doesn't take too long, only 76 kills, so just about double the drop rate. For those of you that notice, you can see I did a beginner clue here and got a fire battle staff. I got this clue from the Minotaur grind. Unfortunately though, I could not find the clip, so I guess here it is. Moving on to the third floor. Well, I guess for this floor and the bottom floor, I can't sustain my hit points here. I just don't have enough damage, and my defense isn't high enough, and my food isn't good enough. So I actually need to find a way to safe spot them or flinch them. Like most monsters, they're aggressive for 10 minutes, so if I just stay in here, you can see that yellow boundary around me, and if I just wait here for 10 minutes, they won't be aggressive towards me. Seeing that it's the same drop rate for all 3 level variants of this monster, I decided I would check just to make sure that I was killing the lowest level one, because that one would have the lowest hit points, and as you can see from this map, I'm currently at the spot with the lowest level monster. Lost my aggression and killed a couple of these. I actually got an adamant medium helmet drop, which I didn't realize was in my chunk, so the chunk picker had some slight mistakes on this, but yeah. Getting the top of the scepter, this puts us at 3 out of 4 for the skull scepter. Down on the 4th floor, here we see the shades that drop the shade robes, and these guys are pretty beefy. They have a max hit of 14, but as you can see, it's only a 1 in 4 for the shade robe top and the shade robe bottom, which is what I'm after. I was primarily saving my runes for something like this, where I basically have to safe spot it, but pretty easy to safe spot, so it shouldn't take too long to get these items. Got the shade robe bottom. This one took about 3 kills to get. A couple kills after that, got the shade robe top. Total probably took me 6 or 7 kills, and after losing aggro at the Anakus, we can safe spot them on a similar skeleton. Got myself level 30 magic, so don't think this unlocks anything for me, but it's nice to see that level go. Killing these, I did run out of air runes, so I was forced to flinch them, but as you can see, you can just do a normal corner flinch here on the skeleton. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Left skull half. Now we have completed our scepter. We just need to combine these components. So there's the scepter, and there's the skull. And now we can make the the Skull Scepter. Here, I realized it's actually the same magic attack bonus as my Fire Battle Staff. So technically, I already had a best in slot by doing one beginner clue scroll, and I did this entire pointless grind for nothing. But yeah, well, we got it anyway, so let's roll our next chunk. Here, I went and backlogged the Mithril Spear Poison grind. I didn't think that I had anti-poisons unlocked. In my head, I was waiting on a strange fruit random event so I could cure the poison, but I actually have access to the Apothecary and Varrock who can sell me anti-poisons, so I later went on and fixed that. We roll the Grand Exchange next. This is just another nothing chunk for me, so getting on to the next one. We ended up rolling Draenor Manor, but I can't actually get into the manor because I need the chunk south. As you can see, chunk 12 on the map. So we went ahead and rolled another one. And here we got the chunk south of it. So now I can go and complete Ernest the Chicken. For Ernest the Chicken, Veronica's missing her boyfriend or husband or whatever the hell, Ernest, who went into the Draenor Manor. And basically he just turned himself into a chicken, and you have to get back the pressure gauge, the rubber tube, and the oil can, so the professor can turn it back into a human. And there's the quest completed, as well as my chunk task, so let's roll the next chunk. Here we got the Edgefield chunk. So this chunk has quite a lot to offer, and I assume I will be here for quite some time. As some of you know, this chunk unlocks access to Bryophyta, Obor, and Scurius. Due to my limitations, I'm not required to train agility, so I only need to kill Obor. With this huge grind in front of me, that's where I'm going to end episode 2. For those of you that like watching the series, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. And for those of you that think I'm doing something wrong, feel free to comment with what you think I should change. For every like on this video, I will do 1 agility lap, and if I get to level 51 agility before completing this chunk, I will add Bryophyta and Scurius to the list of chunk tasks. Feel free to check out episode 1 from the series, as well as any other random bullshit videos that I have on this channel. Have a great day.